Most people are told that feeding livestock well means spending more on commercial pellets, grain bags, and supplement mixes that keep getting more expensive every single year. But for a lot of us, that just drains the farm budget and creates a dependency on systems we don't control. What actually changes things is learning how to grow simple, intentional forage plants that feed your animals year-round, even on small land, even on a tight budget. In this video, I'm sharing 7 powerful plants you can grow yourself to feed your livestock for free, permanently, without expensive inputs or complicated farming knowledge. If you're someone who wants a more self-sufficient, sustainable farm that saves money and feeds your family better, this channel is for you. I post calm, practical ideas like this every week, and subscribing means you won't have to search for answers again. They'll just show up. I'm really glad you found your way here. Let's start. If you've been farming or keeping animals for any number of years, you already know feed costs are one of the heaviest burdens on any small operation. Across the United States, the price of commercial livestock feed has climbed steadily, squeezing backyard farmers, homesteaders, and retirees who simply want to raise healthy animals without going broke doing it. But here's what most people don't realize. Generations of American farmers, long before feed stores existed, raised strong, productive, healthy animals entirely from what they grew on their own land. They weren't doing anything magical. They understood which plants delivered real nutrition, grew back reliably, and required almost no investment to maintain. This video is the practical, honest guide to doing exactly that today. Whether you're raising chickens, goats, pigs, rabbits, or cattle on a quarter acre or several, these 7 plants are proven, accessible, and can permanently reduce or eliminate your dependence on purchased feed. This is sustainable farming the way it was always meant to work, quietly, naturally, and in your favor. Plant 1, Moringa, the miracle tree of livestock nutrition. This one matters because it solves a quiet problem most farmers live with every day, paying premium prices for protein supplements without realizing a single tree in their yard could replace them entirely. The reason Moringa works is simple. It respects how real farming actually functions. It doesn't depend on perfect soil, consistent rainfall, or expensive fertilizer. Moringa is one of the most nutrient-dense plants on Earth, producing leaves with exceptionally high crude protein content, comparable to or exceeding most commercial protein additives on the market. It grows rapidly in warm climates, tolerates drought, and recovers quickly after cutting. It works even through dry spells, which is exactly why it lasts, and why farmers who plant it rarely go back. To start, all you need is a handful of Moringa seeds or a small stem cutting from a mature tree. Both are widely available at garden centers, online seed suppliers, and through local farming communities across the southern United States. If you already have access to either one, you're ready. What you're doing is simply planting in a warm, sunny location with decent drainage and stepping back. Moringa is famously low maintenance. No optimizing, no overthinking. Water it occasionally while young, and it practically tends itself from there. To keep it going, focus on just one thing. Cut the branches regularly once the tree reaches a manageable height. That single habit encourages dense, continuous leaf production and keeps fresh forage within easy reach of your animals. That's enough. Over time, Moringa doesn't just improve your feed budget. It changes how your whole operation feels. Chickens become more active. Goats produce better. Rabbits grow faster. Less money leaving your pocket. More confidence that your animals are genuinely well-nourished. A small thing that makes this even easier is drying and powdering surplus Moringa leaves during peak growing season. Store the powder in a sealed container and use it as a free protein supplement through winter months when fresh leaf production slows. You don't need to do this right away, but it smooths the process considerably once you're established. Plant 2, Comfrey, the perennial powerhouse that keeps giving. This one matters because it solves a quiet problem. Most small farmers never connect to a solution: the constant cost of calcium and mineral supplements, while also delivering serious protein, all from a plant that regrows itself season after season without being replanted. The reason Comfrey works is that it operates on a completely different timeline than annual crops. Once established, a Comfrey plant can produce harvestable leaves multiple times per growing season, year after year, from the same root system. It's one of the most productive plants per square foot available to the American homesteader. Its leaves are rich in protein, calcium, potassium, and B vitamins, making it genuinely valuable feed for pigs, rabbits, goats, and laying hens. It doesn't depend on motivation or perfect conditions. It works on tired days, dry weeks, and even in partial shade, which is why established comfrey patches outlast decades of farming. To start, all you need is a few root cuttings, often called root offsets, which are inexpensive and available through reputable online seed suppliers, homesteading co-ops, and natural farming communities throughout the U.S. If you already have access to root cuttings, you're ready. What you're doing is simply planting those cuttings a few inches deep in a moist, semi-shaded area of your property and waiting. No optimizing, no overthinking. Comfrey establishes itself quietly and begins producing large, broad leaves within weeks of planting. To keep it going, focus on just one thing. Cut the leaves down to a few inches above the soil every few weeks during the growing season. That single, simple action triggers vigorous regrowth and keeps the plant in a constant, productive cycle. That's enough. Over time, Comfrey doesn't just reduce your supplement costs, it changes the rhythm of your farm. Animals fed Comfrey regularly show improved coat condition, stronger bones and growing stock, and better overall health outcomes. Less friction at feeding time, more confidence in what you're providing. A small thing that makes this easier is wilting freshly cut Comfrey leaves for a few hours before feeding them to pigs and rabbits. It softens the texture slightly and improves how readily animals accept it. You don't need this step, but it smooths the process when introducing Comfrey to animals for the first time. Plant 3. Cowpea. The soil feeding, animal feeding. Dual workhorse. This one matters because it solves a quiet problem most small-scale American farmers carry without ever naming it: paying separately for nitrogen fertilizer and protein feed, when one single plant can do both jobs completely free. The reason cowpea works is that it functions as a genuine two-in-one solution for the working farm. As a legume, cowpea naturally fixes nitrogen from the air into the soil, reducing fertilizer needs for surrounding crops. At the same time, its leaves, vines, and pods are rich in digestible protein that goats, cattle, chickens, and pigs readily consume. It's drought-tolerant, fast-growing, and well-suited to the warm climates of the American South, Southwest, and many parts of the Midwest. It doesn't require perfect conditions or specialized knowledge. It grows reliably in real-world farming conditions, which is exactly why it has been a trusted staple in sustainable American agriculture for generations. To start, all you need is a small quantity of cowpea seeds, one of the most affordable and widely available seeds in the United States, found at farm supply stores, garden centers, and online retailers. If you already have seeds, you're ready. What you're doing is simply broadcasting or row planting seeds after light rainfall or irrigation, then stepping back. No optimizing. No overthinking. Cowpea establishes quickly with minimal care and begins producing abundant foliage within a few weeks. To keep it going, focus on just one thing. Allow partial regrowth between cuttings rather than stripping the plant completely. That single practice keeps the plant healthy, productive, and feeding your animals consistently through the entire growing season. That's enough. Over time, cowpea doesn't just reduce your feed bill, it actively improves your land. Animals gain healthy weight on cowpea forage, the soil becomes more fertile for your next crop, and your farm edges closer to genuine self-sufficiency with every season. Less dependency, more production, a quieter, more confident operation. A small thing that makes this even more valuable is allowing a portion of your cowpea planting to mature fully and setting aside the dried seeds for replanting. That one habit makes your entire feed supply self-sustaining, permanently free, with no ongoing cost at all. If this is helpful so far, go ahead and give it a like. It tells YouTube to share this with other farmers and homesteaders across the country who genuinely need it. And I'm curious, which of these plants already grows near where you live, or which one are you most excited to try first? Drop it in the comments below. I actually read them, and I'd love to hear what's growing on your land. Plant 4. Sweet potato vines. The overlooked superfood. Already on most American farms, This one matters because it solves a quiet problem that costs American farmers real money every single year, throwing away one of the most nutritious, life-changing feed sources on the property without ever realizing its value. The reason sweet potato vines work is beautifully simple. They are a byproduct of something most small farmers and backyard growers already produce. The vines, leaves, and stems left over from a standard sweet potato planting are rich in beta-carotene, digestible protein, and essential minerals. Virtually every common livestock species, goats, pigs, rabbits, and backyard chickens, will eat them eagerly and benefit measurably from the nutrition they provide. They don't require a separate growing space, separate watering, or separate planting. They are already there, growing quietly alongside a crop most American families already value. That's exactly why this works. It requires almost no change to what you're already doing. To start, all you need is to let your existing sweet potato plants vine naturally beyond what you need for the kitchen harvest. If you already grow sweet potatoes, or plan to, you're ready. What you're doing is simply cutting the excess vines regularly throughout the growing season and feeding them fresh and directly to your animals. No optimizing, no overthinking. The animals take care of the rest. To keep it going, focus on just one thing. Harvest vines from the outer edges of your planting first, allowing the center growth to continue fueling the roots. That single habit keeps your sweet potato yield strong while maintaining a continuous, free supply of healthy animal feed. That's enough. Over time, sweet potato vines don't just reduce feed costs, they visibly improve animal health. Livestock-fed fresh vines regularly show improved coat condition, stronger immune response, and better reproductive health, the kind of sustainable wellness that used to cost money every single month. A small thing that makes this even more productive is intercropping sweet potatoes along the borders of your main growing beds or between rows of taller crops. That single layout decision turns wasted edge space into a year-round feed corridor without adding a single extra chore to your day. Plant 5. Lucina. The rare nitrogen tree that feeds animals and rebuilds soil. This one matters because it solves a quiet problem that large commercial ranches solved decades ago: the endless cost of protein supplementation for grazing animals. Using a tree that most backyard farmers in the United States have simply never heard of. The reason Lucina works is that it combines exceptional nutritional value with remarkable growing resilience. Its leaves are highly digestible for cattle and goats, delivering strong crude protein levels alongside important minerals that support healthy, productive animals. Beyond its feed value, Lucina is a nitrogen-fixing tree, meaning it actively restores soil fertility around it, benefiting every other crop growing nearby. It tolerates poor soil, dry conditions, and neglect far better than most cultivated plants. It grows in warm regions of the southern United States, Hawaii, and similar climates. And once established, it becomes a permanent, productive investment that pays forward every single year. To start, all you need is Lucina seeds, which germinate reliably after a brief soak in warm water overnight. Seeds are available through specialty seed suppliers and sustainable agriculture networks online. If you have seeds in a warm growing location, you're ready. What you're doing is planting along fence lines, field borders, or property edges, locations that would otherwise produce nothing useful. No optimizing, no overthinking. Lucina grows into a productive tree with remarkably little attention once established. To keep it going, focus on just one thing. Coppice the tree regularly by cutting it back to encourage dense, low regrowth that animals can reach easily and that you can harvest for hand feeding. That's enough. Over time, Lucina doesn't just feed your animals, it rebuilds your land. Soil becomes measurably healthier, animals grow stronger, and your dependence on purchased inputs shrinks quietly, season by season, year by year. A small but important thing to know: feed Lucina as a supplement alongside grass or other forage rather than as the sole feed source. This keeps your animals healthy and ensures they receive a balanced, complete nutritional profile from their overall diet. Plant 6. Banana plants. The whole farm feed factory. Most Americans walk right past this one matters because it solves a quiet problem hiding in plain sight on thousands of American homesteads. Discarding the stems, leaves, flowers, and peels of banana plants after harvest not realizing those parts are genuinely valuable productive livestock feed that most animals will eat immediately. The reason banana plants work so well as feed is their extraordinary versatility. The large leaves are readily accepted by goats and rabbits. The thick, moisture-rich pseudostems, the tall, soft trunks that hold the plant upright, are excellent feed for pigs and cattle when chopped into manageable pieces. The overripe fruit and peels that would otherwise be composted are eagerly consumed by pigs, chickens, and goats. Almost no part of the banana plant is wasted when animals are part of the picture. And because banana plants self-renew continuously through new suckers that grow from the base, this feed source is genuinely self-sustaining once established. To start, all you need is one banana sucker, a young shoot growing from the base of a mature plant, planted in a moist, warm area of your property. Banana suckers are widely available through local plant nurseries, farmers markets, and gardening networks across the warmer states. If you already have a banana plant growing anywhere on your property, you're already ready. What you're doing is allowing the plant to grow to maturity, harvesting the fruit for your household as normal, then cutting down the remaining stem and chopping it into sections for your animals. No optimizing, no overthinking. To keep it going, focus on just one thing. Protect and nurture the new suckers that emerge after each plant is cut down. Those suckers become your next round of both fruit and feed, automatically, with no replanting required. That's enough. Over time, a small stand of banana plants becomes one of the most quietly productive corners of any homestead, delivering free household fruit, continuous animal feed, and deep mulch for surrounding garden beds all at once. A small thing that makes this especially effective for pig farmers is chopping the banana pseudostem into pieces and allowing it to ferment loosely for a day or two before feeding. This simple step improves digestibility, supports healthy gut bacteria in your animals, and makes the feed even more nutritious, with no cost and almost no extra effort. Priority bonus tip: plant. 7. Tithonia, the Mexican sunflower, the plant. Most American farmers have never heard of, but should plant this season. Here's something most people miss, and it matters more than adding another commercial supplement to your feeding routine. Instead of spending more money on additives, consider adding one plant that most American homesteaders have never grown, and almost none have intentionally planted for livestock feed. Tithonia, commonly known as the Mexican sunflower, is one of the most nutritious, fast-growing, and productive forage plants available to farmers in warm climates across the United States. Its bright orange flowers make it look purely decorative, which is exactly why it's been overlooked as a serious feed crop for so long. But the leaves are the real story. Tithonia foliage delivers strong crude protein levels, meaningful phosphorus content, and good overall digestibility for goats, cattle, and rabbits. It grows aggressively, tolerating poor soil, dry conditions, and minimal care in a way that most cultivated feed crops simply cannot match. Once established, it produces continuously and can be cut back repeatedly throughout the growing season, regrowing each time with remarkable speed. Farmers who discover Tithonia consistently describe it as a rare, life-changing addition to their operation. Not because it's dramatic or complicated, but because of how quietly and reliably it solves the feed problem without any ongoing investment. That single plant, once established along a fence line or in an unused corner of your property, often makes the entire feeding picture feel easier, because a meaningful part of your animal's nutritional needs is simply handled permanently for free. You don't need to transform your entire farm overnight. You just need one steady plant in the ground. This week, pick one of these 7 plants, find the seeds or a cutting, and get it started, imperfectly. That's how real self-sufficiency begins. That's how real savings accumulate. And that's how a healthy, productive, sustainable farm gets built, one intentional decision at a time. And if you want more calm, practical ideas to help your farm become healthier, more financially independent, and more sustainable for your family for years to come, subscribe to Zero to Purpose. This channel is for people who want to live and farm more intentionally, without the pressure of rising costs, outside noise, or dependency on systems they don't control. Thanks for spending this time here. I'll see you in the next one.